Hello students, in today's lecture we will discuss activation energy and catalysis. Now for any chemical reactions we have a different type of reactant molecule. For example, reactant molecule A reacting with B and giving us a product AB. Now to complete this chemical reactions, in between reactant molecule there should be a collisions according to collision theory. Now when collision occur between this molecule at a room temperature, then it is observed that the kinetic energy will be less. So this collision at room temperature, we can say that it is not effective. We can say that it is not effective. Now therefore we are required to increase their kinetic energy. So for successful collision, when we increase temperature, it is observed that kinetic energy of molecule will increase. So this kinetic energy will increase. Now on increasing of kinetic energy of molecule can collide with each other, but this collision will be not successful. So it is observed that for successful collision means to convert reactant into product, the reactant molecule having a minimum certain kinetic energy, and this minimum amount of energy required to convert reactant into product is known as a activation energy. So what is the activation energy? Activation energy can be given by symbol EA. We can define in this way: the minimum amount of energy required to convert product, the minimum amount of energy required to convert reactant into product for their successful collision is known as a reactant into product is known as a activation energy. And activation energy is given by a or designated by symbol EA. So EA is nothing but a activation energy. Now this minimum amount containing reactant collide in a proper directions, then reactant will convert in a product and reaction will be successful. So it is observed that when chemical reaction is carried out in absence of catalyst, then the potential energy required will be very high. So here on x-axis and y-axis, on y-axis I am taking a potential energy, and potential energy is given in short P. Now on x-axis we are taking a reaction in progress. On reaction progress we are taking in on x-axis. Now here reactant molecule, in absence of catalyst, the activation energy will be high to convert them in a product. So here I have taken a R for reactant molecule and P for product. Now it is observed that this amount of energy required in absence of catalyst, this activation energy is very high. We can write this thing curve for a uncatalyzed reaction. Now for uncatalyzed reaction in absence of catalyst, this activation energy means the minimum amount of energy will be high. Now if reaction is carried out in presence of catalyst, then catalyst provide a new path for a reaction, and the chemical reaction occur in a new way or in a new path, and the activation energy required to complete this reaction will be comparatively low. So here it is observed that by using a catalyst, or we can say that catalyzed reactions, by use of this catalyst, the amount of energy required will be less. Why? Then catalyst is giving a new path of reaction and providing a less activation energy. For example, we want to go from one place to another place. Suppose we are going with a bus, then time required will be much more. But suppose we are going with a train, then time automatically decreasing 2 to 3 hours, and we are going with a flight, then time required will be 2 to 3 hours. So it is observed that in presence of different vehicle, or we can say that by using a different vehicle, new path is there. By flight we are going in air, by train different path, by car or bus different path. Similarly, by use of catalyst, it provides a new path of reactions and decrease the activation energy. So advantage of catalyst, we can write that it provides a new path for a chemical reaction. And advantage of this, activation energy, we can say EA, activation energy to complete reaction will decrease, and therefore reaction occur in a less time and product will be obtained. So advantage of catalyst, by use of this catalyst, catalyst provided a new path, or we can say that alternative way will be obtained, and because of this activation energy for a chemical reaction decrease and reaction completed in a short time. Therefore, by use of catalyst, reaction rate will be increased and we get product in a short time, quantity remain unchanged. Now, here we have to study, for a catalysis phenomenon there are two different type of theory. First is intermediate compound or intermediate complex formation theory, and second is adsorption theory. So now we will study intermediate complex formation theory.